Good evening, everybody. Craig Greenwood here again on the world as we see it, find ourselves in. It is the 24th of August today, so time flies. Been a while since I've done a video, so I do apologise for that. Interesting times, of course, that we live in right now, and some amazing stuff going on around here in New Zealand and the world, and it just boggles the mind really to see how it all works. You've got house prices going up even though unemployment's going up. You've got the share market going up even though companies are making less money. You've got all the stuff that makes no sense at all. And we've got Auckland in lockdown, level 3, which has got to stay in for another 4 or 5 days now until the end of Sunday. So I really feel for the people up there. That's not good at all. We've got the government coming out today who's kindly looking after us and demand us now to all wear masks, no matter what kind of mask they are. It doesn't seem to matter when we're on public transport, which I'm sure is only a precursor to basically having mandatory masks next time we go into any kind of lockdown. I'm sure that will happen. So interesting. So I've always known and read some scientific stuff on masks early on to realise they actually don't do anything. So the World Health Organization came out, of course you remember this initially, and said no, don't wear masks, they don't do anything. And then they've changed and now they're saying no, do wear masks because they really help. And of course you kind of wonder why would that be? So I've done some homework on it and everything else, and it is true that the scientific evidence right now says that masks don't do anything, especially if you've only got something cloth that you've made at home. But yet, we're all told that no, they do help. They help the spread and everything else. Now, you have to remember that a mask worn properly, the N95 worn properly, and then you do not touch, you do not go this and move it around and all that kind of stuff, possibly could help a little bit. But everybody you see wearing a mask, first of all, they haven't got the right mask on. The homemade cloth stuff is a waste of time. They're always fiddling with it, so the moment you do that, you just destroy whatever you're trying to save anyway. They never fit the face properly, so it just doesn't work. So they have done scientific experiments about whether masks help prevent you catching something and or spreading, both cases. And in all I think there's about 18 scientific experiments regarding all that with subjects, and they found no evidence to support that masks do anything, absolutely nothing. So, but yet we are told by our lovely government that we must wear them on public transport, and urging people to basically put them on, and if you see people not wearing them, the old, make them feel guilty and all that kind of stuff, really strikes me as putting fear into people that, don't need to be there. They're just ruling by fear. That's what they're doing. They're keeping people scared of the virus, which is the flu, as we know. COVID-19 is a strand of the flu. And they're just doing stuff that's just unbelievable. It reminds me, if you watch history and do a lot of history, this kind of stuff happens normally before a dictator takes power and controls the whole society, and you can get a society basically just almost doing anything because you get the society believing in what the officials are telling them, and then they just go on with everything. So you had, if you go back to some recent examples, back to Nazi time in Germany, where you had the government introducing a SWAT, not a SWAT card back then, of course, didn't have the internet, but they had a card, identification card, that everybody had to have, and obviously to identify the Jews. And everybody thought that was a great idea. It'd be really for safety and everything else, and we know where that went. At the same token, they had to make sure that people would police themselves, so that if they saw somebody not following the leader, then they themselves would actually say something and try and do something to correct that situation. And it amazes me how people can be so blind as to think that must be the way we go right now. So, and it happens because we're scared, and people are scared because we've been told to be scared. Again, if you catch the COVID-19 flu virus, no matter what age you are, you're over 99% chance that you won't die from it. So it's just, you really got to wonder what's it all about. And, the locking Auckland down and New Zealand down and the whole world economy down in order of a very bad case of the flu, there has to be, I believe anyway, a secondary reason for this, which I'm sure will show its ugly head in the next 6 months or so. But anyway, there's people out there that think this is fantastic, that we need to, be kind and stay safe and do all this stuff and listen to our leader, and she's doing a fantastic job, and just be little sheep, little people sheep, and don't question anything. And how dare you question something if you've got a different view from what the government is talking about? You know, that's really bad. How could you? And remember when the government came out a few days ago and said that the only truth is spoken. We speak the truth. We don't want you to listen to anything on social media. It might be against us because it'll be wrong. It's fake news. And that we only, you know, if you want the truth, you must listen to us. And in the same breath, they talked about a school that had COVID, which actually didn't. So they got that wrong. But I mean, it's just, you couldn't write this kind of stuff trying to make a movie out of it. But they're doing it. And people forget and don't mind and think, oh yes, no, so true. And then of course they put out that, you know, if you don't believe that masks work or whatever other reason that you might be thinking your own opinion, God for help, God forgive, that they just put it out as a conspiracy theorist. And if you're a conspiracy theorist, then basically that is basically saying that you are nuts and that you don't know what you're talking about. Interesting enough though, that word actually came about in the Kennedy assassination. The government wanted to put out they wanted to stop people thinking that maybe Osborne wasn't the person to shoot it, and there was obviously more people involved. They wanted to stop that rumour. So the way they stopped it was they came out, they invented the word conspiracy, and they basically said all their news outlets that anytime anybody doesn't toe the line, then you must say it's a conspiracy. And conspiracy means that it's someone who's a bit dumb, a bit nuts, you know, a bit not quite right in the head, and we shouldn't listen to them. And so you watch today, when anybody comes out with a different opinion and someone calls it a conspiracy, just think about how that makes you feel about what they're saying. Because it does actually, straight away, most people get turned off and say, oh, well, you're an idiot, and how could you, you know, like that. So it does stop people thinking and free thinking, which is interesting in itself, really. So anyway, that's my bit on masks. I hope they don't make it compulsory down this end of the woods. We're in Taupo, we don't have to wear one as yet. And but the dumb thing about it is that they don't care what kind of mask you use. You can be, you know, you could probably wear a cheese grater and they'll think it's fine as long as you've got something over your face, which is such baloney. But anyway, again, it's to make people feel good and safe and all that kind of stuff. So I'm not quite sure if it does come compulsory down this neck of the woods next time we get for lockdown. I'm not sure what I'll do actually, whether I'll just go, nah, stuff you, or whether I go and wear something really ridiculous. Which is technically correct, but obviously won't do anything. Or I could wear my motorsport balaclava, which covers everything except my eyes, nose, and mouth. That'd be funny. It's funny because going into BP at the moment and get a coffee and stuff, which I do quite regularly, and I think BP must have had a directive from above that they all must wear masks now. And so you go in there and they're all wearing masks, look bloody stupid. All of them have got it below their nose, and you go, really? Like, you're supposed to be serving the public, supposed to be putting this good image across, and you put it across here, which is the mask doing nothing anyway, but that just makes it stupid. And they're all touching, fiddling. It's just, you got to wonder the things that we do to make other people feel good. It's quite amazing, really. Anyway, I hope you're all having a great time. Hope you are surviving all this. If you're in Auckland, I really hope that you're surviving all right, and glad that you're coming out of this level 3 in Sunday, so that'll be good for you guys, which hopefully you'll come down then and see the rest of the country and spend some more money, because we desperately need that. It's amazing. Our business has slowed right down, of course, once Auckland can't leave, because Auckland has travel everywhere. They're a big hub of the economy and New Zealand, so we need them traveling around the spot. So hopefully that happens really soon. So I'm not going to stay safe and be kind, all that kind of crap. I'm just going to say that I look forward to making another video soon. Until then, we'll see you later. Bye-bye.